bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So now we can start Abhidhamma. So it will be a very long topic to explain Abhidhamma, but here in this section, or in this class, we can explain briefly. Okay? So many of good Abhidhamma books in Myanmar are more than 400 pages. But now here in my books you can see only 260 or 556 pages. So too little. So now the version in your hand is only 2 chapters. Anyway, in Buddha's teaching we have 2 different types of truth. The first one is conventional truth. We can also say concept. Another one is ultimate truth. So when we study Nikayas, especially Suttas, we can find the Buddha explained many different concepts and conventional truths in the Suttas. But when the Buddha explained Abhidhamma, the Buddha just used ultimate truth. So in our daily life we mostly use conventional truths to communicate each other. So in the books you can find 2 types of concepts, Attapanyati, thing concepts, and Satapanyati, name concepts. Pandey, what's your name? My name is Nagasena. It's just name. Then Minanda also asks, what's really called Nagasena? Is it your hair Nagasena? No, it's a hair, not Nagasena. So, and if you have read, you can also know what the meaning of Attapanyati, Satapanyati. Okay, now to clarify, I should use one example from Virinapanya. So, one day, King Milinda approached Venerable Nagasena and asked, is your body hair Nagasena? No, it's not. No, Nagasena. Is your skin Nagasena? No, it's not Nagasena. He asked 32 body parts one by one. Then he cannot find Nagasena. Then King Milinda complained, Pandey, you be Krishna on 10 line. You say you are Nagasena. No, we cannot find Nagasena. Why are you cheating me? Then Honorable Nagasena put a counter question. Let me know, how do you come here? I came here by chariot. Okay. So what's the really called chariot? Is the wheel who is chariot? No. Is it the body of chariot? No. Honorable Nagasena asks one part by part in the chariot. He cannot give the answer. He just says no, no every time. Then Venerable Nagasena also complained again. Why you say that you came here by chariot? But there's no chariot now, you cannot say what is chariot. You should not tell lie also. So that means conventional truth is not always truth. Sometimes it's truth, sometimes it's untruth. Then when somebody comes to Myanmar, some Singaporean came to Myanmar, right? Then I may ask them, where do you live? They may say, I live in Singapore. But actually they don't live in Singapore, they just live in their home. So similarly there are many other things. Simply just name of a country, the name of the land. So there are many houses, many people. Then people are called Singaporean. Countries are called Singapore. Right? Just a name. Okay, in the book I have mentioned the symbol of a parrot. Right? When you hear the words parrots, the image of a bird that has beak, green feathers, and 2 wings, 2 legs will be in your mind, right? This is the themes. Then the sounds, the real parts, is called Atthapanyati. So I also list out many Saddapanyati and Atthapanyati. So the first we start with theme concept, right? Samuhapanyati for the collective concepts such as house, car, cart, and so on. That means house means combining many different material, brick, cement, iron, zinc, wood. We combine many things together. We also make form of house. Then this is called Panyati. This is also called house. So Santana Panyati is only shape or appearance or form. For example, mountain. It's only made of soil and rock. Maybe there will be tree. Tree can be another concept. If we say mountain, it can be a pile of soils and rock and something like that. This is called mountain. On the shape. About the shape, we name it mountain. So now these are Panyati. Another 1, 3. Directional concept. So we have 4 directions, 8 directions, or 10 directions. They are also called Panyati. According to our living place, we have different directions. From my place, you are different directions. From your sitting place, I will be in different directions. It depends on our living place or standing place. It will be different. And Kala Panyati, time concept. So now morning in Singapore, but evening in US. Right? So Jati Panyati, lineage, such as man, woman, and so on. So in the bracket as I mentioned, is also called Satta Panyati. Satta Panyati means all the living beings are also called Satta Panyati. So next one, Nimitta Panyati. When we meditate, we can see the Nimitta. In the very beginning of Kasina, we also have to see Kasina objects, or also concept. That's what we also call sign concept. So now Akasa Panyati, space concept. It's very clear. We cannot touch, right? If we say space, we cannot touch, but we can sense. So we can be touched by the wind, but we cannot touch space. So Upada Panyati, the present concepts that represents the ultimate reality. So when something arises, we can know, oh, that is it. For example, when anger arises, we can know this is the anger. When greed arises, we know this is the greed. Right? We just name. If it went too much, that's most called greed. Then if we are too exciting or too much emotional and too much anger or hatred, we can say this is the anger. When it arises, we can know it. Just name. Okay, now comparative. Upanita Panyati, the last one. If we say Upanita Panyati, we must compare for 2 different things. For example, long and short. Tall and short also. So compared to this small tree, letter will be shorter. Compared to this cup, letter will say taller. By comparison, we can know tall or short, long or short, similarly thick and thin, and so on. If we don't have any comparison, we cannot know it. This is also called Panyati. So we study English grammar, then every adjective, we have 3, right? For example, good, better, best. Similarly, clever, cleverer, cleverest. Clean, cleaner, cleanest, and so on. So we have comparison. All these are concepts. So all these are theme concepts. Now we also have a name concepts. Here I will use Pali, Vichamana Panyati. Vichamana means it really exists according to ultimate reality. Such as feeling, when we feel good and bad, happy and unhappy, pleasant and unpleasant, this really exists. But we cannot show it easily. But sometimes when we are too excited, people can see us. So this really exists. This is called Vichamana Panyati. We just name, oh, this is pleasant, this is unpleasant. Also, I also mentioned here 4 elements. 4 elements mean only 2 things: salts, softness, among the other elements. So when we touch, we can feel softness. For example, softness of the leaves. We cannot remove softness from the leaf. We have to combine together. When we feel something, we have to massage something to feel. So this really softness really exists. We cannot remove softness. This is also called ultimate truth. So now Abhidhamma Panyati. So it does not exist. I have already explained Venerable Nagasena. Right? It's just name. We ourselves also we have just name. If we analyze in detail, we cannot find anybody. Head hair. If we analyze head hair, also there can be many others. Forehead, skins, also we have many different skins, different layers of skins. So all these are just name. Right? These are called Abhidhamma Panyati. So these 2 are for single nouns or single pronouns when we speak in our daily life. But sometimes we also have modifier. According to modifier, there are also many other different types of concepts. 3. Vijamanina Abhidhammana is also modified by ultimate reality. For example, Chalabhinya Arhat. Chalabhinya means 6 psychic power. It really exists. But Arhat is the body of a person. Right? So we can also say he is like a special. He has some special attainment. This person is called Arhat, the name of his attainment. So that means Chalabhinya also really exists, but Arhat, the person, is not really exists. If we analyze very much in detail, it will disappear. This is called Vijamanina Abhidhamma Panyati. So in other words, Abhidhamma, Abhidhammanina Vijamanina Panyati. This is actually modified by concepts. This is a woman's voice. Because his voice, her voice, actually his or her does not exist. The voice really exists. Then Vijamanina Vijamana. These both of them are ultimate reality. For example, Jakku Vijnana, eye consciousness. So eye is actually eye consistency, and also consciousness. 2 different things. Similarly, Nama Rupa. Nama is mentalities, Rupa is materialities. So they modify. The ultimate reality modifies another ultimate moralities. This is called Vijamanina Panyati. Then finally, Abhidhammanina Vijamana. These both of them are concepts and truth. For example, her husband, his wife, his son, his daughter, and so on. Both of them are, if we analyze in detail, both of them will disappear. So these are concepts. In many of discourses, the Buddha will use concept. When we are trying to understand a discourse, we have to analyze first. This is the concept or ultimate reality. But sometimes, if we mix such 2 things together, for example, we may say anicca dukkha anatta. In the sense of ultimate truth, we can talk about anicca dukkha anatta. But when we are going to talk about concept, don't talk about anicca dukkha anatta. It's wrong. Okay, now an example. There was a wrong view at the time of the Buddha. Now also there will be some similar wrong view in modern society. The wrong view is, if we kill another living beings, it's not killing. The living being is also earth element. The life is also earth element. And earth element go into earth element. It's not killing. Then I have met some foreign bhikkhus. They also asked me many complicated questions. Bhante, Why do we have to follow many different rules and regulations? The Buddha also said, everything is impermanent. It's impermanent. Why do we have to follow many rules? Rules are impermanent, we should change now. So that means when we are going to talk about morality, we must not use ultimate reality. It's a concept. Similarly, when we are going to talk about samatha subjects, many of them are concepts. So, when we are going to practice vipassana, we must know paramattha, the ultimate realities. So, what's it really called paramattha? Here I have already mentioned. One, aviparita. It has unchangeable nature, or whenever it arises in any living beings. So, for example, when anger arises in human being, there is also heating in the body. Similarly, when anger arises in the animal, they also have the same things, the same behavior, the same phenomena. It will arise in many different living beings, but it has the same nature. It's unchangeable. That's one is called paramattha. Then Abhidhamma, higher Dhamma. So when we talk about concepts, there are many different levels. I always say tall, taller, tallest. For example, many different levels. But ultimate reality is the highest. We cannot compare. Maybe in English grammar we may say angry, more angry, the most angry maybe. But in Abhidhamma, anger is anger. You cannot level. Maybe according to many other supporting causes, it can be stronger or weaker. Anyway, the main thing is it's only higher Dhamma, not ordinary Dhamma. So we also have like path of fruition knowledge, it's very high Dhamma already. So number 4, I explain a little bit more about it. Okay, 3, sabhava. It is just individual characteristics or natural characteristics. So that means every single ultimate realities, they have their own nature, their own characteristics, and also their own function, manifestation, and prosemic causes. So number 4, Brahmasa Jnanasa culture. It is the object of higher knowledge. So sometimes, although we are angry, we don't know, we cannot recognize. But when we have higher knowledge, we can recognize why, how it arises. So only higher knowledge can sense or recognize or understand the ultimate realities. Especially like the path and fruition knowledge or jhanas. With ordinary mind, we can just imagine. But when we can really practically practice, we can really understand it. So, in brief, we have already known conventional truths and ultimate truths. So they are now in this class, we will talk about ultimate truths most of the time. So here we have some short notes. Only 4 types of ultimate reality also mentioned in the notes. Citta, consciousness. Jirasika, mental fetters. Rupa, materialities. Nibbana, you have already known this Nibbana, the highest goal. These 4 are called ultimate realities. So when they name them as Namarupa, then all these 4 can be Namarupa. When we name them as aggregate Khanda, it becomes Khanda. When we name them as noble truth, it becomes noble truth. So the same things we name in different ways according to Abhidhamma. So first we have to learn. Second, we have to practice. Now we understand better. This is the Buddha's way. So in the books, it also mentioned Cittas, consciousness. The Buddha also explained about Cittas in many sutras. The following verses are from the Dhammapada. So you can also read Dhammapada. In the very beginning, the first stanza mentioned, all mental phenomena have mind as their forerunner. They have mind as their chief. They are mind-made. If one speaks or acts with an evil mind, dukkha follows him, just as the way follows the footprint of the ox that draws the cart. So now, when we talk about the mind according to the suttas, even according to Dhammapada, we have one special chapter for it, Citta, mind chapters. You can read whole entire chapters. All this stanza will talk about, explains how the minds are working. So, okay, now we have grammatical definitions about Citta. There are 3 grammatical definitions of ultimate realities as agents, we call in Pali Katu. For example, Aramana Tindititi Citta, Vijanati Atro. Knowing the object is consciousness. That means the mind can know the object. The mind has ability to know the object. That's why it's called consciousness. So second one, as instrument. Karana in Pali. For example, Tindeti Idinati Citta. By that mind or consciousness, living beings know the object. In this sense, the mind is the only instrument that can know the object. We make the mind as an instrument to know the object. So the mind can know, just mere knowing, but it cannot analyze very much in detail like a wisdom. Okay, here also some other things. According to Abhidhamma. Citta according to Abhidhamma. Okay? So, according to Abhidhamma, Citta divides into 3 classes. The one is akusala citta, unwholesome consciousness. Kusala citta, wholesome consciousness. Abhyagata citta, neither wholesome nor unwholesome. That comprises of resulting consciousness and functional consciousnesses. Okay, now this is also important parts. There are also 4 definitions of ultimate reality. They are the characteristics, the function, manifestation, and prosemic cause. So in every ultimate reality, whether it's a nama or rupas or anything, every nibbana, they have the characteristics, the function, the manifestation. So now you can also read the lakkhana. Right? Lakkhana means natural sabhava characteristics and general samanya characteristics, according to nibbana. So okay, now, for example, the mind means knowing. Similarly, phassa, contact, eye contact, mind contact. Without contact, we cannot see anything. So if our eye go, so without intention, we cannot see anything. Intention, they have their own nature, their own function, their own prosemic cause, everything. So here, they have their own nature, their own characteristics. So we also have to talk about samanya lakkhana, right? General characteristics. That means we have anicca dukkha anatta. So when we have anicca dukkha anatta, impermanent, suffering, non-self, when we are going to talk about anicca dukkha anatta, it must be ultimate truth. But when we are talking about sila or samadhi or many other things, don't talk about anicca dukkha anatta. Okay, so now rasa, the duty or performance is called kicca rasa. Other the fruits also called phala, caused by the ultimate realities. So that means sometimes by knowing ultimate reality, there can be some fruit, some result, some effect. It's called rasa. We also have here the achievement. By knowing some ultimate truth or caused by this ultimate truth, we have some achievement. This is also called rasa. For example, if we have wisdom, right? Our wisdom will shows the right way. This is the effect. This is also called result. Okay, now Pratipatthana, manifestation. So this is the way it's present or is understood, being domain of knowledge or being the object of knowledge is called Upatthana. So that means when we meditate, for example, when we're going to talk about Citta, it will appear in our mind as object. So this means our knowledge can know, our vision can understand what's really called Citta, right? Consciousness. So when it appears in our mind, it's become Paccupatthana. Okay, now here practically, what are the characteristics, function, manifestation, proximate cause of Citta? Practically here, it will be easier. The characteristics are knowing the object, vichanana, or taking anything as an object. Citta just cognize the object. It does not know penetratively. This is just characteristics. The function is leading all other associated mental factors to know the object, or a leading factors of knowing the object. So as we have known, the mind is a leader. Mind will lead us anytime. So that we have already learned Dhamma the first stanza, right? Mind is a foreigner. So that means when we speak also, the mind will work. Mind will force us to speak something. If we keep silent, the mind will force us to keep silent. This is the nature of mind. This is also the function of mind. So manifestation is processing without interruptions. So that means when we see something, a series of minds will arise and perish. We have one explanation. In this class we cannot talk about it. With one famousness, many millions of mind can arise and perish as a series. So when one of the mind arises, it will follow many other minds to know one object without any interruptions. This is called manifestation. So here I mentioned that the Citta arises as a process, what we call mental process. So here mental process means when we see something, we call Aindo mental process. When we hear something, we call Iado mental process. When we smell something, Nostril mental process. When we taste something, Tando mental process. If we touch or feel something, you can say body mental process. If we just think or try to visualize something, or it will be mind mental process. So they will arise as a series, as a process. That's what we call Viti in Pali. So that means, okay, now the last one, right? Proximate cause. The Nama Rupa will be the proximate cause of Citta. So mentalities and materialities. Mind alone cannot arise. There must be mentalities or other mentalities or materialities. They will rise together. So in the immaterial realms, only Nama can be the proximate cause. Okay, so now we will start 12 unwholesome consciousness. It will be a little faster for us, right? So we have 8 greed-rooted consciousness, 2 hatred-rooted consciousness, and 2 delusion-rooted consciousness. Altogether, 12 unwholesome consciousness. So now, when we are greedy, how many feelings do we have? Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are just normal. We have 2 different types of feeling. So when you go to the market, if you see the one you like or the one you like too much, they will be great, sure. Very happy, right? Pleasant feeling. So if you just feel normal, you don't feel happy or anything, just normal things. But on a daily, in your daily, you have to go to the market for some necessary thing for your house. It's not the one you like too much. It will be just normal feeling. So in brief, there will be 2 different types of feeling. It will make 2 different categories of lobha, greed. So second one is association. Associating with wrong view or dissociating with wrong view. Sometimes, although we make many mistakes, we don't think it's a mistake. It's just normal. We think this is a wrong view. So mistake is a mistake. So sometimes we know it's a mistake, so this will be a little wiser. Sometimes we knowingly do it. We unknowingly do it, right? We can do different things. Anyway, so wrong view here. For example, killing an animal is just vegetable, no problem. This is sure 100% wrong view. Then, this is not really very close things to do, but anyway you have to do. Then it can be dissociated with wrong view. Sometimes happy, sometimes happy. So it divides into 4, right? Wrong view associated with happy and unhappy. No wrong view associated with happy and unhappy, altogether 4. So another one is prompted or unprompted. So sometimes we ourselves feel natural, but other people talk about the value of some beneficial things. For example, the cup. In my mind it will be natural, but someone says, candy is very nice, very beautiful, very valuable. Then shall agree or rise. Prompted by other people, we have attachment. If nobody prompted, we are normal. Similarly, anger also the same. We ourselves say, okay, but somebody say, why you are so patient? Then we start getting angry. Right? Similarly like that. So, anyway, prompted and unprompted. If prompted, then our mind said, okay, not really that much problem. Unprompted, our mind is too active to be greedy. Too flexible to be greedy. Okay, the main thing is the feeling, the association, the prompted or unprompted, or divide greed, rooted consciousness into 8 classes. So now, in the slideshow, we mentioned the first 4. In the books of it, we mention all 8, right? The first 4, for example. So buying pleasure associated with wrong view or unprompted. The same things accompanied by pleasure associated with wrong view, prompted. Then another consciousness accompanied by pleasure dissociated with wrong view, unprompted. Also dissociated with the wrong view, prompted. So the first 4 associated with pleasure. Then we also have the second 4 with equanimity. So in this group, we also can find associated accompanied by equanimity, so they got the wrong view, unprompted. Then similar thing, accompanied by equanimity, dissociated with the wrong view, prompted and unprompted, altogether 4. Okay, so unprompted actually means volitional mental energy that makes mind sharp and strong. Right? So here I also mentioned the reasons of pleasant feeling. Okay, now, anyway, explain the what's natural, the more desirable, or the mind-made desirable, right? So natural desirable object. So everywhere in every classes, we have natural desirable objects. For example, for Buddhists, Buddha statues will be desirable. Dhamma books will be desirable. Sangha will be desirable, right? This is natural. I think you can also understand. So similarly, there are many other natural desirable objects. For example, clothes, food. If you this is a good quality, you may like. This is a natural desirable. So that means if we say natural desirable objects, we just think about only middle class, not very high class. Okay? So if all the middle class accept as good things, we can this natural desirable object. Now the most desirable object, for example, we have to say the Buddha, sure, that's the most desirable object. And similarly, the Dhamma, like meditation subjects or vipassanas or path fruition knowledge, these are the most desirable objects. So ordinary people cannot get that kind of things, right? Similarly, even high class, they cannot find good money. They cannot find it, right? We have to train ourselves. The more desirable object, we can get it by our own efforts. So another one is a mind-made desirable object. It can be very complicated. Actually, mind-made is a very complicated thing. For example, according to different doors with different desirable objects. Okay, now many different things. For example, durian, right? Durian. For tando is very good, right? For nosto, very bad. So that means it can be many different types like this. Sometimes designed for the eyes, not designed for the nose, not designed for the ear. Sometimes go for the nose, not go for the eyes. Right? There are many flowers, very good smells. But if we see, not good looking. Right? Like this. For example, like also fish also, right? Very smelly, right? Fish. But go for the tongue, not go for the nose. So here, man-made designer objects can be according to the age, according to the place, according to the doors, according to many other things. So, for example, according to the age, small kids will like a drawing. Now, mature people will not like that kind of things. They like other things. So, okay, it depends on many other cases. That's why it becomes very complicated. Okay? Okay, the main thing is, okay, one is a really natural designable object, or the most designable object, or man-made designable object. Pleasant feeling will arise when seeing or when hearing something. Then, two, rebutting consciousness is associated with pleasant feeling. So that one is in our life, in the very beginning of the life, is unknown. Right? So the three is also having a shallow nature. Mostly those who smile easily or laugh very easily have shallow nature, according to Abhidhamma. So, another one, the reason arising of equanimous feeling. The object is normal designable, it's just normal, not that much high quality. Then another one, rewarding consciousness is also associated with equanimous feeling. So we have already said the one. Having profound nature. If we think too much, we cannot feel happy. Right? So now the additional factors for the rising of equanimity is being a dumb person, mukha, daduka. So that means there are some people, they have low IQ, they will not know good and bad, they cannot know happy or unhappy. For them, everything will be normal. Right? They will not have happiness, more equanimous feeling. So we also here mentioned the reason arising of wrong view, associated with one who holds a wrong view, and two, inclining asaya or holding on the wrong view, like innovation or eternal view. So here again, so if we say association with it, actually it doesn't mean you must not work together. Sometimes we can avoid talking with them or something like that. But don't listen to them too much. Sometimes we have to associate bodily, bhavali, but not mentally. This kind of association will be okay. You have to associate with everything. Right? We have to listen to them too much. Also, we have to talk with them too much. Or sometimes we have to work together. Mentally we agree the wrong view, wrong perceptions. Then it can be the cause of rising of wrong view. So now, okay, we also have one more. According to the sutras here, listening to other people, having unwise attention. These two can be the cause of wrong view. So that means sometimes, although it's a wrong information, if we have to listen every day, the untruth information becomes truth. Whereas having unwise intention is our ability. Mostly people like easy lifestyle. If we follow one religion, there are many rules and regulations to follow, right? This is a wrong view, this is a right view, this is good, and this is bad things. If we have wrong view, we don't need to follow any religion, right? Any rule and regulation. So free stance. If we want to be free too much, we become prisoner of our own thoughts. The reasons of rising of unprinted consciousness. One, rebelling consciousness in unprinted, having a healthy body, and having healthy and sharp minds, belief in the benefit of efforts, having habitual actions, having suitable weather. All these are the reasons of the rising of unprinted consciousness. So here are three, right? Having healthy and sharp minds. sometimes our mind is not very heavy. That means we follow our wish too much, or we reject other people's welfare too much, for example. That means we don't have healthy mind. So if we have a healthy mind and sharp mind, we will not follow, and then we will do well. Okay? And then also unprunted mind will arise. Another one is belief in the benefit of effort. So we also have belief in benefit of efforts. If we do well, we can get better. So here, unprunted and unprunted can be wholesome and unwholesome both. It can be. So habitual actions. Similarly, good and bad. Some it become habitual actions, it become unprunted naturally. For example, if we are going to meditate every day, for example, when it becomes habit, if you don't have a chance to meditate one day, you feel something uneasy in your mind, unpleasant in your mind. It's natural. Habit, it becomes habit. So in the case of lobha, also the same. If you have the nature of greed every day, it becomes natural, habitual, unprunted. Similarly, short temper, hateful temperament. Then this nature already, even very minor things you will get angry, unprunted naturally. Okay. Then there are many creative consciousness according to the Kamabhata, the way of actions we already talk about. Then Kala, the time, present but future, place, into the place also they have greed. Right? In the monastery, I hope you can practically experience this. Right? That's why this sadhana continuity. If you have long time wholesome mind, very little unwholesome mind. So aramana, the object, and so on. There are many other ways of analyzing creative consciousness. Okay, now one. We have to talk about daily life. Greed in daily life. One A, B, C, D, and just list out. It doesn't mean right one after another. So we just analyze ourselves. When happily and eagerly enjoying sensual pleasure is accompanied by pleasure. Happy, right? The B, believing in the possessions of seeing, hearing, etc. You can like a superstitions, believing in superstitions. They're not feeling any guilty about the mistakes or holding wrong view and also associated with wrong view. That means, sometimes although we make mistake, we don't feel guilty. That means we have very strong wrong view. After making some mistake, we must feel guilty. If something harmful for other people, something harmful for ourselves, we must feel guilty. There are many people, they are very strong. They don't feel guilty. It's some mistake. Mistake means they have very strong pride or very strong wrong view. Okay, so now D, right? Nation, what do you think about unprunted or printed, embodied by or explained by other people, bodily or verbally, how to pleasure, essential enjoyment is also he enjoy it, it will be printed. Sometimes some other people have to teach how to go for picnicking, how to do fishing, many different things, right? And you can enjoy it, this is printed. So now in modern society, many books, they will explain how to enjoy the life. After reading many books like that, you know how to enjoy the life. Similarly, in the documentary also, it will mention, right? Even last night I'm watching fishing. How people do fishing, right? To explain the one. So how people do fishing, hunting, they are very happy. When they can catch the fish, all they are shouting, yelling, enjoying. So that means watching this kind of documentary or that kind of maybe short movie or movie clip, then he will follow that instruction, enjoying it. All these are called printed. Okay, so there are many other things. Okay, printed or unprinted, it can be wholesome or unwholesome. So sometimes we may read many books about meditation, we may follow it, sure, it also can be printed. Sometimes we are lazy, by reading the books, we become active, also can be printed. Now we are sick, but by reading the books, we become active. Whether it's good or bad, it can be printed. So most of the time, we just have equanimous feeling. Neither happy, nor unhappy. But when something happens, we are happy. We are happy. Right? So in our daily life, most of the time, only equanimous feeling arises. That's why not that much strong akusala karma in daily life. If we become very happy with the greed, it becomes very powerful akusala karma. So okay, now hatred-rooted consciousness. There are two types of hatred-rooted consciousness. As we say hatred, if we hate somebody, we cannot feel happy. If we hate something also, we cannot feel happy. So hatred will arise together with unpleasant feeling. They are the reasons of hatred. So any kinds of undesirable objects and 9 grounds of hatred. So that means we have already mentioned natural undesirable, right? Also man-made undesirable. Sometimes it's desirable for everybody. If we dislike it, becomes undesirable naturally. So for 9 grounds of hatred, you can read up by yourself. You can know it, right? So I will not explain. Okay, now here one more thing. There is also one more cause of hatred. Attana kopa. Improper anger, such as when hot, cold, raining, windy, and so on. For example, sometimes it's too cold, we get angry. We don't know who to complain. Right? Too rainy, we get angry or feel sorry, something like that. And it also called right? Unreasonable, atana kopa. Actually, I have here, we just talk about dosa mula, hatred rooted. But in reality, dosa doesn't mean only hatred. It also covers many other phenomena, many other mental quality, mental natures, the nature of the mind. For example, worry is also called dosa, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, grief, also despair, fear. All these are called dosa. Okay, now this morning I definitely only the last one, right? Only 2 delusion-rooted consciousness, right? It will be the last one. So here, when we say delusion or illusion or ignorance, it cannot be pleasant. It cannot be happiness anymore. It's just natural feeling. And with ignorance, we cannot feel happiness, sure. So if we think too much also, we cannot feel happiness. So here we can say, delusion-rooted consciousness will associate with equanimity, accompanied by equanimity all the time, no happiness. Only 2 things will make difference. That was doubt and restlessness. These 2 make delusion different. If we have a lot of doubt, we have delusion. If we have restless minds, we have delusion. So now, all these 3 are called agusala, right? Unwholesome. Now I have to say again the characteristics, the function, the manifestation, the cosmic cause of unwholesome. So now, the characteristics of agusala is blamable, savaja, and desirable result, dukkha vibhaka. So here, blamable means we have many different blame, savaja many different. The first one is we call complain ourselves. We blame ourselves. This is also called blamable, right? We blame ourselves. We complain ourselves. Too painful. The second one is complain by other people or blame by other people. We live in the community, many people see and hear what we are doing and saying, they will complain or they will blame, it becomes savaja, blamable. Another one is punishment according to the law. So if we break the law, so it will be blamable naturally, right? So these are called savaja, blamable. Dukkha vibhaka, so after death, we can be reborn in the hell. Even in this very life, we can also feel. We can also experience many other bad results, practically. All these are called akusala. So now the function is to bring discomforts or unprofitable. That means it will function you discomforts. Also unprofitable, both. then the manifestation is impurity. You may feel that you are impure. So now the proximate cause is unwise intention. You know already that one, right? Then we'll have another definition here. The characteristics is the faults or blamable savaja. The same things, right? Then the function is the property of impurity. So it can be the property, the factors for impurity. So manifestation is as undesirable results in the mode of effects, anicca vibhaka. Anicca means undesirable. So after making the actions or the causes, although we don't wish to get the effect or the result, we cannot reject anymore. It will come naturally. So now, this morning, we can just finish akusala citta, right? Actually, I plan to finish a whole chapter of citta, actually. But anyway, so if we know good and bad, at least it's good enough for daily life, right? So now, although we cannot know all the 12 types of unwholesome consciousness, if we know what is wholesome or unwholesome is good enough. So opposite of unwholesome is wholesome. For example, now savaja, blamable, we blame ourselves, blame other people, or according to the law. All these are akusala. That is the evil result. It can be in this very life, it can be in the future, next life. So all these are, if not very profitable, not beneficial, this is unwholesome. So if we summarize, unwholesome can be unbeneficial expenditures here in this very life or hereafter in the future life. Unwholesome dhammas can be blamable this very life in the future. So unwholesome dhamma also is impure. We never feel we are pure. So sometimes we may have very strong wrong view or very strong pride. We will not feel guilty. Whether we feel guilty or not, we may know we are impure. So it makes people different. When we have good minds most of the time, we become good person. When we have bad mind most of the time, we become bad person. So now 8:35 already. We should stop here, right? Your questions are welcome. We should share the knowledge, right? Idame punyam asawakaya vaham hodu idame punyam nibbanasa pacayo hodu mama punya bhagam sabha satanam bhajemi te sabe me samam punya bhagam labantu sadhu sadhu